Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 3146 Northeast 58th Avenue here in Portland. We're located in the basement of the home. Right up against the front foundation wall, we have a 4-inch cast iron cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. Here we go. It transitions here at 22 feet over to 6-inch terracotta pipe. We do have root intrusion here at 22 feet. We'll get that marked on the way back out. We'll let it drain out at the end too. We should have a clearer look at things. There may be a tie-in here at 35 feet. We'll have to wait till the line's drained from the right side there. It's either a tie-in or it's a really separated joint. We have a transition here at 54 feet over to schedule 3034 PVC pipe. That's generally where we see the line transition over to the street and the city's responsibility. Alright, here at 69 feet we have reached the main lateral. We're going to let the line drain out here for a few minutes before pulling back so we have a good look at the sewer line. Or at least the terracotta portion. There are some issues in there. Alright, the line is pretty much all the way drained out. We're going to start reeling back here while it trickles off. We do have some concrete pipe in here. Didn't see that transition on the way out just with the water going through the line. There is some aggregate rock showing through, so the pipe is showing some wear here. A little bit of standing water at that spot. It's very minimal. And these joints are starting to separate here. So right here, this is what I was referring to on the way out, whether it was a tie-in or a separated joint. It looks like there's just a big old piece of concrete that's busted out of the way here. So this is where I'm going to do my first marking. I mentioned there was a separated joint up ahead. It's hard to say if that's actually allowing water or anything like that to seep out. Everything's flowing past that point okay, but this is a definite issue that needs to be resolved here. It's a gaping hole in the line. I'm going to get this marked with a white X. Okay, here at 35 feet, this is where we have a hole in the line. I went and marked this out in the front yard. It's in the grass, marked with a white X. It's at 8 feet deep. It looks like we have another hole in the line there, right here at about 32 feet. We kind of have a bad angle on it, but it does look like there's a hole there as well. Have another hole here in the line at 28 feet. It's hard to tell, but it looks like we might have a root mass coming through here. It's gunked up with a bunch of debris. I'm going to do a quick marking right here. I'll mark this with a white T indicating the cast iron transition. This will also be in the front yard area. Given the fact that the bottom of the line is starting to break out of the way, especially back here towards the beginning of the sewer line, that's telling me that there's the integrity of the pipe a lot of it's been lost. If it's holes are starting to break in the bottom of it, at this point, if about 15 feet or from 22 feet out to 35 feet needs to be replaced. There's holes scattered throughout it, like 3 of them, and then there is a root intrusion. I would recommend updating the entire concrete section of the line at this point, as if that beginning part is starting to break through. This last half of the concrete will also. And it looks like it's concrete. It looked red like terracotta at first, but it's concrete pipe. I'm going to push out here to where the line ends at, or at least the concrete section, and I'm going to map the line from here all the way back to the cast iron transition. So from 22 feet out to 54 feet, I do recommend replacing. The line drains well enough that you could auger the roots out of the way and do a pipe liner and avoid digging altogether. This would be an ideal situation for it, as there's no standing water in the line. But I would look into both traditional excavation and sleeving as a repair option to see which one is more cost effective. Alright, right here we're just before the curb, right around 8 feet as well, marked out with a white X. I'll do markings here about every 10 feet. We'll just do some white lines in between some of the X's just to show the direction the pipe is running. But it does appear the repair is right around 8 feet at this point here. Okay, just did a white line marking here right by the sidewalk area. It's about 7 feet 6 inches deep. Alright, because I already have a marking there at 35 feet, I'm just going to pull all the way back here to the cast iron transition and make that my last marking. So we have holes in the pipe at 35 feet, 33 feet, and about 28 feet, as well as a root intrusion at 22 feet. There's a separated joint around the 40, and I'm sorry, there's also a root intrusion, it looks like right here at 24 feet. Because of the integrity of the line has been lost, even though the bottom of the pipe hasn't broken out as far as holes go and stuff like that, beyond 35 feet, the first half of this line is showing a lot of wear and holes in it. Likely that other half of that line is going to follow relatively soon. So it's also most cost effective to just replace the entire line right now rather than just do part of it. It's going to be more cost effective just to do the entire thing. All right, I'm going to do my last marking here at looks like 22 feet, 23 feet. I did my final marking right here. I had to push a little bit beyond the cast iron transition to mark it. I was getting kind of a bouncy signal, but that's also in the front yard area, around 6 feet 9 inches deep. And again, I do recommend replacing the line from this point here at the cast iron transition at 23 feet, all the way out to the street curb at 54 feet. And due to the fact that we've got 3 holes throughout the first half of the concrete, as well as root intrusions. And my reasoning for recommending to repair all the way across the yard again is that obviously the integrity of the pipe is gone, it's breaking out, and likely that is going to keep occurring at the last half of the concrete. So now will be the time to do a full update on that section of the line. But again, I would definitely look into doing a pipe liner or sleeve, as the line has proper slope and grade throughout. There's no standing water, so it's a great candidate for doing a sleeve, which is trenchless. But look into both repair processes to see which is most cost effective. I'm going to go ahead and roll the camera out. I recommend a rescope after any repair work to ensure that it was done properly.